I heard you talking greatly about Durga Saptashati. Please explain the whole thing to us, what it is, how it empowers when you are in a state of when you're feeling little low, less empowered. There may be several situations in someone's life. um, दुर्गा सप्तशती और जो हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स हैं उन सब में इसको क्यों एक एक लेवल है जहाँ पर बहुत सारे लोगों का ये फीडबैक भी है कि व्हेन वी रीड इट इट हैज़ दैट पावर व्हाट इज दैट पावर एंड व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन यू रीड इट
So, uh, easiest way to say is that we all have that supreme consciousness within us, but we are not in touch with it. We don't know that we have it. So how do you get in touch with it is through a lot of these stories where a frail looking woman has actually gotten in touch with that, and we do see examples of this in our world also. So you will see, let's say mothers, when they see their child in danger, they go, the kind of shakti they display is not something that you expect from them on a day to day basis.
राइट
In a distress situation, in a situation where they have to take the role of a protector, the kind of energy, where does that energy come from? It was within her, but she didn't know of it, or she didn't need to tap into it till she found a situation in which she has to tap it. So, can we tap it proactively and uh, use it for the larger good, both for ourselves and for the society? Is the question. Now, one of the ways in which we do it, and corporate world probably is using it very well, is through stories. So you can read the scriptures at a story level also and say somebody has done it, so I can also do it. So stories gives you stories give you ideas of how it can be done, what it can be done, and also an inspiration that if somebody else has done it, then I can also do it.
दुर्गा सप्तशती की बात करते हैं उसमें क्या है ऐसा जो सबको मन मोह लेता है सबका और एवरीबडी वांट्स टू
uh, so Durga Saptashati is a text which is from Markandeya Puran, which is one of the 18 Mahapuranas. So it's the story, it consists of three stories of Devi, in which she plays three different roles. In the first story, she just enables Vishnu to fight Asuras. All three stories are about mighty Asuras who need to be defeated. In the first story, she doesn't fight, she only enables Vishnu to fight. In the second story, she takes the energy of all possible devatas. She collects the energy of all, or she's created out of that energy, and she fights an asura called Mahishasur. And that's a story we see in lot of sculptures around the country. And in the third story, she divides herself, just like we need to delegate at times. She divides herself into multiple swaroops or manifestations to fight a army of asuras. Okay, so to me, this is a very nice framework for women to look at. That there are times where don't a lot of times we tend to do everything
या
ourselves. you know we feel I'm the best person to do it, so let me do everything. No, there are times when you just enable others to do and just sit back and let them take the fight. There are times when the enemy or the task at hand is so big that your energy is not good enough. You need to pull in energy, or all possible resources that you have. And then there are times when you must multiply yourself, and I'm sure we face it every day. I wish I could multiply
क्लोन
myself and a clone, exactly. We could clone ourselves and do things. you know so how do you clone yourself? By creating a team which is
या
like you.
या
And this team need not be really your team per se, employed team. It can be a team which you can pool in a freelance model as well. But you must have that, uh, and 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 the ability to decide which model to use when.
Sometimes this becomes a little hindrance for leaders because you know that
Hmm.
insecurities are constantly high on our head. You want to relate this concept to leave insecurities and think of rebuilding yourself?
So if you are thinking in terms of your there are two ways to handle it. One is to look at the timeline. Am I looking at a 3 month time frame, or a 3 year time frame, or a 30-year time frame, or a three janma
Yeah,
time frame? That will change your perspective. Second is to look at your purpose and say, am I looking at is my purpose to get a 6% raise instead of 5% next
yeah,
year? Is that my purpose? Is my purpose to leave a legacy in this world which will stay beyond me? Is my purpose to see a happier world, in irrespective of what I get out of it or
yeah.
not? So these two horizons, purpose and time frame, if you can, you can plot it on a axis. uh, that should give you an answer.
Sure.
Most of the times we are very very short term focused, and we are very self focused. And what we sometimes forget, and this is something I see a lot in India, that we think, we want people around us to be below us. I mean, we don't want them to grow as much, but we forget that if they grow, we have a our probability of growth is far
Absolutely.
higher. So the energy that we are spending on pulling each other, if we spend the same energy in pushing each other, we all will do better.